Hello, everyone. My name is Sunny. As you know, I'm working in the real estate industry since 2016. In my journey, always experienced that first home buyers, they always have a lot of questions. They don't know where to start, how to buy a house, how to go into the market. So I'm not answering all these questions. For answer these questions, we have really expert from this industry, Mr. Shrikant Chaudhary. I would just want to welcome him. Mr. Chaudhary, welcome.
Thanks, Anil. Thanks for that introduction. Really appreciate that. Hello, everyone. This is Shrikant Chaudhary from Thought Financial. I'm the founder and director of the company. Their home loan dreams come true, and based on each individual circumstance. However, I would like to give you the disclaimer that this is a general information. We need to look at each of your individual circumstance before we can recommend you a suitable product or a lender. Thank you. Thanks, Sunny.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, I work with a lot of first home buyers, investors as well. But today we're only talking about the first home buyers. Like, when someone has to come to the market, a lot of people struggling even with the simple questions. I can say simple question, you can say simple question, but for them it's really big questions because they don't know how to start, what to do, and where to get the money from, how much they need to borrow. So all of these questions, if you can able to explain us one by one, like I think the first question will be like, how much I can borrow. We can start from here.
Yeah, that's a good question at the start. That is, from a first home buyer's point of view, is all they want to know, like, how much the lender can lend them the money. So how much they can borrow. So it is just not only the income, it is the lender looks at their liabilities in addition to income, and that will determine how much loan amount they can borrow.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So it depends upon different individual circumstances as well, how much they can borrow, and depends upon their job as well, what they're doing, and what's their lending, borrowing capacity as well. Yeah.
That's correct. So it's based on their employment type, such as a full-time permanent employment, or some of them are self-employed. So the employment types and their income, together with the liabilities, that is the credit cards and the personal loans or any other liabilities, together that will determine how much they can borrow based on each of the lenders' credit policy.
So most of people, they have this question as well, that how much they have to save before they come to the market.
Yeah. So when you are planning to purchase a home, the ideal way is like, 20% is the deposit which you would require. But again, there are options if you got less than 20% deposit. So for example, a home buyer who is looking around 600,000 property, they need to have a deposit of $120,000. But I know not every prospective home buyer will not have that many savings.
Sure.
So you got options in the market where you can contribute maybe 5% as a deposit, which is for a $600,000 property, you can have 30,000 as a deposit contribution. That will give you options to explore in the housing market.
Okay, so you're saying is everyone has the different option. They can start from 5% to 10% or 20%. So it depends how much they're earning and how much their savings are. And then you can play around with their scenario. Mr. Shrikant, can you hear me? Mr. Shrikant, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I think the connection is a little bit unstable, but we continue with our chat. I was just saying before that it depends on individual scenario as well, that how much they have in the savings, how much they have to save, and you can play around with their different circumstances here.
That's correct. So the customer has got options like based on their contribution, it can be a 5% deposit or a 10% or 20%. That is where they do not have 20% deposit. Lenders mortgage insurance is the one which it can help. to make their way to think about their home loan options.
That's great. And Mr. Shrikant, is there any additional cost along with the home loan?
Yes, certainly. So, besides your contribution as a deposit, you need to have funds for stamp duty. If you are as a first home buyer, up to $600,000 property, you don't have to pay any stamp duty. But there upon above 600,000 property, you need to consider a stamp duty. And there is a lender's mortgage insurance. Again, if you are paying a deposit less than 20%, that is a $600,000 property. If you are paying anything less than $120,000 deposit,
Sure.
you would be paying some lender's mortgage insurance. So these are the major costs in it. Besides these two, there are other charges such as your legal fees, that is a conveyancer charges, and state revenue office. Altogether, you are looking around $4,000 to $5,000.
$4,000 to $5,000. Okay. So, if is there any for first home buyers, is there any grants from the government or any kind of funding is available?
It's a good question, Sunny, because as a first home buyers, for eligible first home buyers in Victoria, there is $10,000 if the property is located in the metro region or in the regional Victoria. So, but if you have purchased your land in regional Victoria, that is prior to 30th June 2021, you might be eligible for $20,000 grant for the construction of your building.
So means first home buyers, they have an option to play around with that money.
So this $10,000 first homeowners grant is for eligible first home buyers. It's based on they're constructing the building, that is the construction, that is their which will be used as primary place of residence. So, and it will be available when you are constructing the house. So during the land portion, you need to just it is not available only at the second stage, that is when you are constructing the house. This will be available to them.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, Ms. Shrikant, we already spoke about the grants as well. You already touched based on that. If some first home buyers coming to the market, what kind of documents? Of course, the documents are too many. Of course, we can't discuss everything on that, but we will definitely share your number and everything to people. Of course, we will go through in coming weeks. We will go through on every question thoroughly. And so with the next question, I just want to double check as well that is there any different type of loans we have available in the market? Because personally, one of my clients came to me and he told me that this bank is giving me good deal and other bank is not giving me good deal. So what's the difference between the banks and the brokers, and how first home buyers can choose who's the best?
So Sunny, this one is who is the best? That's only the experience of the journey of the customer can finalize, can give that decision. But what I would say is in the market, there are two categories of loan products. That is a fixed rate product and a variable rate product. So what does that mean is when you take on a home loan, that for a certain period of time, ranging from 1 year till 5 years, you can fix your home loan rate. So what does that mean is when you apply for the loan, whatever the rate that is available at the settlement time, that will be fixed for the duration which you have chosen. And for a variable rate, normally it is as a term itself called variable. Sure. It will vary based on the rate. So the best will be defined because as first home buyers, they will have a lot of questions, and again the experience will give them that ability to make the informed decision. So the banks or brokers, I would say brokers will have a bit more time in helping the customer understand and answering those questions patiently, because it is just not only completing the application on customer behalf and submitting to the lender. What the mortgage brokers we do is we answer them and then understand their requirements and the objectives and how they want, what are their requirements are. Accordingly, we recommend the products and the lenders. So, and the other advantage of going with the mortgage broker is you have a range of options that suits your each individual circumstance.
Sure.
That means they are able to provide more options for you to see which one suits in your each individual situation.
Sure. As you already spoke about the application, so let us suppose someone came to your office, they already put their, like, whatever you asked for, all the documents has been submitted. So approximately how long it takes to get the loan approval?
So the loan approval, it is there are a couple of stages in that. So once the customer submits all the documentation to our office, it normally takes around five days for us to review and understand their requirements and then recommend the product or a lender accordingly. So after that product, the customer accepts that, it takes another 5 to 10 days that is for approval.
Okay, so it can be anywhere from 5 days or less than that. It depends upon how fast they give their documents and how fast you get satisfied with their documents as well.
That's correct. So based on the documents we receive, we will submit to the lender, and accordingly, if there are any further documents required, for example, in certain situations, we may need more documents. In that case, that will delay that outcome. So on an average, you are looking around 5 days to 10 days for your approval.
Just want to find out if you want to add anything else.
So on these ones, like, with the approval ones and the interest rates, which we have spoken earlier, whenever customers are considering a fixed rate product, we would recommend them to consider a rate lock feature. What does that mean is, whatever the interest rate you are seeing when you are lodging the application,
Yeah.
you can expect that rate available at the settlement if the interest rate changes.
Okay, so depends upon the interest rate as well. They can save a little bit of money, and they
That's
don't have
correct.
too much interest rate. Okay. Every week we will sit with Mr. Shrikant. We will take more information from him because it looks very easy when we talk. Of course, when we have to go through the process, it can take a lot of documentation. It can take a lot of time, energy as well. So end of the day, Mr. Shrikant has to look after you guys. And if you have any questions, please, Shrikant, if you can able to give your business details and your phone number and what's the business hours as well, so people can able to talk to you whenever they need.
Yeah. So our business is always open. That means we are based on customer situation. That is, as per customer hours, we adjust accordingly. So
Sure.
anytime, if whenever they got queries or when they have anything, they can contact us on the mobile number 0425117142. And the email address is shrikant@thoughtfinancial.com.au, and you can always reach out via our website as well.
Great, Mr. Shrikant, and we will see you next time then. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Anit. Thanks for your time.